For centuries, humanity has believed one truth about the cosmos, that nothing in it ever truly stands still. Every planet spins, every star burns, and every comet races endlessly through the void. But a few months ago, that certainty shattered. The James Webb Space Telescope, along with observatories across the world, detected something that should have been impossible. Atlas, an interstellar traveler older than our sun itself, suddenly stopped moving. Not slowed, not dimmed, it ceased. It was as if the laws of motion and the very heartbeat of the universe had skipped a beat. Instruments confirmed it wasn't an error. Multiple telescopes across continents and in orbit all saw the same impossible image, an object frozen in place against the backdrop of the stars for hours, maybe days. And when Atlas finally began to move once more, the inquiries it left behind would shake physics, astronomy, and even philosophy to their core. Was it a simple cosmic illusion, or proof that there are forces or technologies beyond anything we've ever known? Because this wasn't just another comet. The James Webb Telescope captured thermal oscillations, rhythmic shifts in temperature, and patterns of light that looked less like chaos and more like control. Something or someone seemed to be regulating this object. So, what really occurred during the silence of the universe? What could make a massive interstellar body defy gravity, inertia, and time itself? Stay with me through this because, as scientists are now discovering, this wasn't just a pause in motion, it was a message. It began like any other night of observation, quiet, routine, and predictable. Across observatories from Chile to Hawaii, astronomers were tracking the faint shimmer of Atlas, an object known to be on a hyperbolic trajectory cutting through our solar system, a cosmic passerby never meant to return. But then, the unthinkable happened. At first, instruments showed a strange downward slope on its velocity curve. The object's measurable motion across the sky, its proper motion, began to decline. Within hours, it reached zero. Atlas, an interstellar body traveling at tens of thousands of kilometers per hour, had stopped. The disbelief was instant. The laws of physics leave no room for rest in space. An object in motion must stay in motion unless acted upon by a force. Yet no gravitational field, no visible jet, no nearby planet, and no magnetic influence could explain this event. It was as if the very fabric of space around it had conspired to hold it still. Technicians first suspected a calibration error. Perhaps the telescope's tracking software had glitched, or a background star had aligned perfectly to mask the movement. But within minutes, confirmation came from other observatories: Japan, Spain, Australia. Even amateur astronomers using high-sensitivity telescopes reported the same anomaly. Atlas was motionless. That's when panic turned to awe. Nothing, not comets, not asteroids, not even spacecraft, had ever done this before. The idea of an object pausing in motion contradicted everything Newton and Einstein ever taught us. A hyperbolic escape trajectory means momentum that never stops. However, the directional data showed something else entirely. A sudden plateau in speed, a silence in motion, as though an invisible force had paused the universe itself. Teams from NASA and ESA rushed to rule out natural explanations. Could the sun's gravity have counteracted its velocity? Impossible. Solar pull at that distance was far too weak. Could it have been hit by another body? There was no debris, no shockwave, no shift in brightness. The phenomenon defied every model, a mystery wrapped in precision. For hours, the object remained fixed. Not drifting, not spinning off course, not accelerating, a frozen beacon in the dark. Even the stars in the background continued to move behind it, confirming it wasn't an illusion. It was the cosmos that moved, not Atlas. And then, just as abruptly as it had stopped, it began to move again, slowly at first, as if regaining consciousness, then smoothly returning to its original path, leaving behind nothing but data and disbelief. That moment, the day motion itself faltered, would develop into one of the greatest puzzles in the history of astronomy. Now, scientists refer to it simply as the pause. But as new research using the James Webb Telescope revealed, the events of that night weren't just a glitch in celestial mechanics. The readings taken during those hours, the thermal pulses, the subtle oscillations in light, hinted at something even stranger. Because throughout the stillness, Atlas wasn't silent. It was active. When the data from the first observatory came in, disbelief was the natural reaction. A pause in motion. Impossible. Every scientist on duty assumed a malfunction, an error in calibration, a glitch in software, perhaps a brief interruption caused by solar radiation. But that illusion disintegrated as, one by one, observatories across the world confirmed the same impossible thing. From the Subaru telescope in Hawaii to La Silla in Chile, and even the European Southern Observatory at Pernal, all began reporting identical readings. Atlas wasn't moving. As expected, the background stars shifted. The galaxies drifted as they always did. But the interstellar object at the center of every frame remained locked in place, perfectly stationary. Soon after, the confirmation spread beyond professional networks. Amateur astronomers with high-precision instruments began capturing images that matched the professionals' data. Even small observatories in Spain, Japan, and Australia verified the same coordinates. The object's position against the background sky was unchanged. It wasn't an error of optics nor of perception. It was real. The news raced across the international astronomy community.